It's already been a week, and now we got to dive back into the self-publishing news over the past week. It's been pretty interesting. In fact, actually, I've got one to lead the charge here about Print Nation. That's a digital publishing company that's going to be partnering with me on a future book case study. Actually, it's an ongoing book marketing case study that you can get involved in and get a free book in the meantime. And actually, I get a free book as well, which is kind of cool. Also, the Kindlepreneur just rolled out a book just for you. No, you're not going to find it over on Amazon. No, you're not going to find it for sale anywhere else. You're just going to find it available through Kindlepreneur. You want to make sure you get your hands on that one because Dave Chesson is one of the go-to resources in all of self-publishing. So definitely a book worth looking into. And also, there's a bit of a scam alert. Authors Guild wants to let you know about a scam that's going out and it's hitting a lot of people's inboxes. We want to make sure that we stop that from happening. But what I don't want to stop from happening is sharing with you my preferred book marketing tool in Book Award Pro. They are the fine sponsors here of this podcast. It's a fresh approach for reviews and awards. Book Award Pro operates the world's largest database of legitimate reviews and awards. No need to worry about deadlines and complex requirements. Book Award Pro shows you accolades fitting for your book and relevant right now. They have 10,000 plus legitimate accolades, 68% award win rate, which is pretty good, and a 97.6% author satisfaction. Find out how I was able to get over 32 book awards for 6 different publications over the past few years with Book Award Pro when you visit dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. All right, let's go and transition over here to the very first piece of news. It was back actually about a month ago at the beginning of July when I took my 1-week vacation that I said, you know what? I've got a ton of indie author books on my shelf that are collecting a bunch of dust. What could probably serve this better? Because it's not doing any good on my bookshelves and it's not like I can be able to share everybody's books here. So I thought, hang on, there are these little free libraries that are scattered throughout Columbus. We're talking like dozens, if not hundreds. It was just amazing. So my wife and I said, all right, even though it's work related, let's do something. I wanted to distribute all of these indie author books, one per each one of these little free libraries, and I wanted to come back in about 3 months to see if those books were taken. Funny thing is, within 1 day of dropping off one of the books, we had visited one of those stations, already gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. We walked over 60 miles, distributed over 31 different titles. Actually, I think it might have been 32 or 33. But we got a lot of books out there. So with that being said, I'm going to be doing this again. I've got a vacation coming up at the very end of September, and I'd like to take your book out there. Now, here's the funny thing is, a digital publishing company called Print Nation said, hey, we want to help you. We can get you all those books that you want in order to distribute. And I'm like, oh, really? So what Print Nation's going to be doing is they're going to donate your book to me and give you a book as well. So this means, first of all, you're going to apply for it. There's a link inside the show notes, but we're going to end up donating all this to the little free libraries. No catch. You're in good hands. I'm going to end up distributing those to the little free libraries and you'll be showcased in a video. And I'll be doing an unboxing of each one of the books. So that means there's going to be 2 videos that's going to showcase you and your book. And what's the nice thing about it is you're just going to get a free copy of your book. If you've been kind of thinking about, oh, well, you know, I'd love to get a proof. I'd like to have a book on hand, but I can't afford it. Now's the time. Don't kick tires. This is a perfect opportunity that you'll be showcased in 2 upcoming videos. I'm going to give you a direct shout out in one of those videos. It is going to be really nice. You'll see those post in late September to early October. It's going to probably be closer to early October because I'll be on vacation. I'm not producing videos then. I will be walking those, and I'm probably going to walk over 60 miles this time. At least my wife and I are going to try to challenge ourselves. But all that to say this, go over to dalelinks.com/printnationbooks and get your upload all your stuff right there. You're in good hands again. I am really geeked up about this. Deadline is September 13th. Don't wait. Do not wait. And before anybody asks me this question, it's print books. So please make sure that you have the full cover wrap, whether it's paperback or hardcover, and make sure that you tell that to Print Nation that that's what you're shooting for. And I will get a copy of your book. You'll get a copy of your book. No catch. Literally you're getting free book marketing in 3 different ways. In 2 videos, and one location of little free libraries here in the Columbus, Ohio area. All right, now that I'm done gushing about that, I want to share with you that the Kindlepreneur just recently launched the Author's Guide to Amazon Visibility. It's an ebook that has proven strategies to get your book discovered by the right readers. This one's written by Dave Chesson, and I'm going to tell you about at less than 23 pages and such. It is chock full of great information that's up to date. So you're going to want to make sure you get your hands on that one. I'm not going to break it apart because I mean, it's 24 pages. I feel almost like I can probably sit and just read the entire thing, but we're not going to do that. Speaking of, I literally just wrapped up doing the Amazon Ads 2.0 course that Kindlepreneur currently offers, and chef's kiss. It is a fantastic course. I cannot endorse it enough. It is brief, it's to the point. You can probably, if you were to do 2x on each one of the videos, it'll probably take you less than 2 hours to get through it. Super simple. It will really help you out in dialing in your ads. If you've been having some issues and struggling with your ads, this is definitely going to be the course for you. So go on over and take a look at that. I've got a link in the show notes as per usual. Let's move a little further forward to a scam alert coming from the Authors Guild, a great author membership that provides some great free resources. And in instances like this, I actually got to find out on August the 20th, they had reported a company called Book Publishers Inc. That's I-N-K, like as in ink inside a pen. A member recently reported a suspicious offer from a company calling itself Book Publishers Inc., which claimed interest in purchasing 2,000 copies of the author's unpublished book. Red flags included initially inaccessible website, books on their site that can't be found elsewhere online, dubious claims about obtaining contact information, and interest in unpublished work. Remember, legitimate publishers rarely make unsolicited bulk purchase offers, especially for unpublished books. Always verify credentials and be wary of offers that seem too good to be true. So watch out for Book Publishers Inc. That happens to come into your inbox. Please be careful, folks. There are going to be some, scamsters out there. Scamsters. That's my new word, scamsters. There's going to be some fraudsters out there. They're going to try to take advantage of you. Go over to Authors Guild. They actually have a running tally of some of the scams that you should avoid, including this Book Publishers Inc. Piece right here. But on a lighter note here, the fine folks over at Miblart, they're my preferred cover design service. They teach you how to write a selling book blurb, 11 tips for authors plus examples. I'm going to go ahead and give you the TLDR and break it down on the tips. Keep it short, simple, and structured. Yes, I can't agree with you more. I see sometimes there's a wall of text when people put together their book description. No one's got time for that. 100 to 150 words, more than sufficient. I usually try to keep it below 150 if I can help it. Tip number 2, align the book blurb tone with your genre. Tip 3, start with a hook. I can't tell you how many times I have indie authors that say to me, I don't know why I'm not selling any books. And then I go over, look at their book description. It's a wall of text and there's absolutely no hook. They just kind of go in to just summarize their book automatically. Give us a hook. And it needs to be just like a brief line that you can read at a glance. All right, next, tip 4, add a summarizing sentence at the very beginning. Tell something intriguing about your main character. Reveal settings a bit. Mention the main conflict in the book blurb. Evoke emotions. Go from big to small. If you don't know where to start at all, begin with a general retelling of your story. It can be pretty detailed. Write it out the following things separately. Main idea and moral of the book, themes, tropes, unique features of your characters, and setting characteristics. Tip number 10, be ready to rewrite your book blurb a few times. And tip number 11, add a short review at the end. I've never done a short review at the end. I typically try to just wrap up with buy it now, but that's just a personal preference. Give that a shot. What do you think about some of these tips here? Speaking of tips, all right, I have said this time and again. Every author needs to work with a professional editor. And if you can't afford one, I totally get it. But once you can be able to afford a professional editor, it's good to know that a good, qualified professional editor is going to enhance your writing, not change it. Yes, they're going to find some things, they're going to break it out, and I want to share this because my actual book editor, Jeannie DeVita, put together a post over on Substack called Editorial Toxic Traits, How to Spot Them and Avoid Them. And it's so funny, there's a quote right here, editors are like plants. Some are healing, some are toxic. She actually breaks this down piece by piece, but I'll give you just a little bit of the overarching theme here. Number one, the editor over-edits for the stage the work is in. There's been so many times where I'll send a manuscript over to Jeannie and she'll confirm with me. She's like, hey, are you cool with this deep of an edit? I'm like, bring it. I want to see it. But she's always really good about knowing how much work needs to be done and how little needs to be done based on where we are inside the editing process. Another thing she mentioned as well is going to be the editor is unable to educate you on the nuances of the current publishing market. So this makes a huge world of a difference, is understanding what's the market like right now and how's the trend kind of going and where does your book fit within that area. That has been hugely helpful in working with a professional editor in that aspect. And number three, the editor doesn't run a professional practice. And I want to read this little clip right here. I can't tell you the number of times I've rescued projects from clients whose editor disappeared, didn't communicate, didn't finish the work, or simply blew a critical deadline. Don't work with flakes. Flakes are the type of people that you set a deadline, let's say September 3rd. September 3rd comes and goes, you reach out to them, they're not responding. That's not an editor you should be working with. An editor should be professional, and they should also be able to give you the right notes that doesn't tear you down but build you up. All right, read that piece really good. Speaking of Substack, go over to take a look at Authortunities. This is a great resource. In fact, it's actually becoming one of my top resources in finding out what's going on in the world of publishing. This is hosted by Angela Yuriko Smith, and she actually just put out one that's called Authortunities Hub, a gated online community, opens next weekend. And she shares so much what's going on within the world of publishing, be it self-publishing or even trad publishing. She talks about different events and contests and things like that. Go over, take a look at Authortunities when you get the opportunity. ProWritingAid. There you go. That's that's going to be my editing software. We're going to call it ProWritingAid. I'm sure ProWritingAid won't take umbrage to it, right? But at any rate, my preferred grammar checking tool is ProWritingAid, and they're actually currently running a sale for a limited time. I believe it's all throughout the next week that it's going to be available, starting right now until September 3rd, I think it might be. It might be a little further out there, but you could save 25% off on any of their annual plans, be it the premium plan, which is normally $10 per month. It's now $7.50 per month. And then the Premium Pro plan, which includes the AI features, that is for $9 as opposed to the $12. DaleLinks.com/ProWritingAid to go ahead and get yourself set up with that. It does not include lifetime access, unfortunately, and it does not include the month-to-month plan. So I did ask. Speaking of, I am elated. I'm excited. I can't wait to dig into it. Dibly Create just rolled out a new feature for Content Writer. Yes, they do have. It was probably about a couple of months ago they rolled out Content Writer to where AI is able to work with you in producing content. And if this is something that piques your interest, it was only nonfiction originally. Now it's available for fiction. Unfortunately, it's still in beta access, and you can only access it if you have a Pro membership. I have a Pro membership. It's kind of nice. Go over to DaleLinks.com/DiblyCreate to get yourself some access to this new tool. Hey, a couple former guests here of this channel, Michael Aron and Maddie Dalrymple, are releasing a book, From Page to Platform, How to Succeed as an Author. And this is going to tell you everything you need to know on becoming an author speaker, coming from two very, very established authors in this space who have traveled the world speaking on stages for various platforms and organizations and such. So it is right now on pre-order till August the 30th. Go snatch up a copy while you can. It's available at all major online retailers. I went and picked it up over on Kobo because I've been trying to read Kobo a lot more. And while we're kind of talking about some books being released, a former guest here of this channel and also the founder of Kobo Writing Life, Leslie LEF, is actually currently running a Kickstarter campaign on One Hand Screaming Deluxe Hardcover Horror Collection. It's the 20th anniversary. I'm a huge horror fan. Now, you might be saying, but Dale, I don't like horror. I don't like horror at all. No, that's not my thing. But if you go in to some of his perks, one of the perks includes some one-on-one coaching. I cannot recommend Leslie LEF enough for something like this. having him speak to you it's even better than working with me directly. I know it's bad for me to say something like that. You're getting someone who's been in this industry since the 1990s. And this is not like a poke or a jab at Mark's age or anything else like that. But this is a guy who smells like smoke because he's been through fire. He is just one of the best in the industry. Go over, take a look at the Kickstarter campaign. You'll see that is among one of the perks that he is available. It does come at a higher premium, but so worth it. So entirely worth it. And moving a little further forward, Book Launchers is actually going to be hosting a live Q&A and chat with Jason Jones. He is a publicist who has been on this channel many times before, and he also has his own channel on Discord where he answers any book publicity questions. But they're going to be talking about booking local media for your book promotions. That is going to be tomorrow, August the 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Daytime. 100% free to go that. And by the way, you happen to go on over there, make sure that you shout out Jason. He's a good friend. And also Julie. Julie's a sweetheart. Fine folks over at Story Origin are going to be hosting a free webinar for you on Tuesday, August the 27th. That is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime, From Pen to Profit, Mastering Book Writing and Digital Marketing, with special guest Nick Thacker of Book Career in a Year. Nick has been a guest here, and actually I think he was the 200th episode of the podcast here that we were able to kind of do things. But you're going to be talking about effective book marketing strategies, building and leveraging email lists for marketing, utilizing social media to promote your book, balancing writing and marketing activities, turning your book into a sustainable career. This is really one of the best ways to directly interact with first of all, the founder of Story Origin, Evan Gao, but also Nick Thacker, because it's a big Zoom meeting. So really so worth it. I did a Zoom meeting a couple weeks ago with Story Origin, and it was so much fun. Speaking of so much fun and Zoom meetings, Bookbrush is going to be having From Page to Presence, Crafting Your Author Brand with Sherry Briscoe. This is on August the 30th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime. Are you struggling to figure out your author brand? In this engaging session with Sherry Briscoe, discover what buzzwords like platform and social media marketing truly mean for authors. Through practical strategies and real-world examples, you'll learn how to define and establish your unique brand. Free one there for you folks. And I want to, of course, give a really quick shameless self-plug here for myself. Books 1 and 2 are out. It's official. Every online major retailer. You can get an ebook, paperback, and hardcover with audiobook coming relatively soon. Self-publishing for new authors is available out at every major online retailer, dalelinks.com/new authors. And book number 2 is getting a ton of great reviews. I appreciate each and every single one of you for buying that. Please leave a review at your preferred online retailer. That's at dalelinks.com/advanced authors. And if you would like to get advanced access to my book about Amazon advertising, it's coming out in September the 15th. Now's the time to join the Advanced Reader Copy team. That's Advertising for Books, a guide to promoting and selling with the largest online book seller, Amazon advertising. This is a book that it was many years in the making. Lots of work, lots of cross-checking, making sure that all my facts were correct, and it is ready to rock and roll. Please, Amazon ads, don't change anything. Please, stop. Just give me at least 2 months for my book to get out there. But you can go ahead and get access to this if you join the ARC team at dalelinks.com/ARC team. And one last little plug here to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. One of the greatest ways to help support the cause here is to support some of the sponsors. Book Award Pro is my preferred book marketing tool. You go on, take a look at it at my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/bookawardpro and find out exactly why I rave about them so much. Get yourself set up with a free account or try the Pro plan. That's one of the ones that actually I like using, because I like it when they apply for the book awards and I don't have to bother with that. So all that, and there was so much that we just covered within the last 10 or so minutes. I definitely want to thank each and every single one of you. If there is a particular piece of item of news that I missed or might have misinterpreted, please let me know inside the Discord community over at dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll catch you next week in the Self-Publishing News. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.